everybody. It is another windy day here in the high desert of Southern California. It's a warm day too. Today, I believe it's supposed to get up to 96 degrees. I just wanted to give you a look at the garden. I had planted some things that are popping up, and you can see the evidence of those things popping up. So I just wanted to give you an idea of some of the stuff that I planted. And you know, I didn't really mark any of these, so I can't tell you specifically on certain ones what they are, but I can give you an idea. So right now I have corn that's popped up over here that I planted, and I have these are some kind of peas that I planted. I believe those are sugar snaps, but I'm not really sure. And some pole beans that I planted right here. And the reason why I didn't mark these, label these, for one, I was out of the wooden sticks to do it, and I didn't have any other plastic things to use either. So, and then I was just too lazy, you guys, too lazy to go to the store. I didn't want to have to go through the whole process of putting on my mask and going in and trying to find something, get some little markers to mark these off. So all along this side of the trellis though, like these are Scarlet runner beans, and you notice there's like a powder around them. That's diatomaceous earth. I'm trying to, you can see on this one, the leaves are getting eaten up by grasshoppers. I'm trying to keep the grasshoppers off, the roly-poly bugs, and anybody else who wants to take a chomp out of my little seedlings here. These all are direct seeded. So, and over here, I think these are melons too. I have melons. I have Kooka melons. These little guys here are Kooka melons. And so, yes, I got more things growing over here. You can see I got some more peas, and all these are cucumbers, I believe, that I planted over here with sugar snap peas in between. Oh, I know what those other peas on the other side where the corn is. Those are those blue shelling peas. That's what those are. These are the sugar snap peas. I guess I'm not that old, huh? I at least remember that much. I know these are all beans that I planted in the middle here. All these areas right here, those are beans. These right here are some melons. I'm trying to get a second go around on some watermelons and stuff. So, and then on this side, it's more, these are all kidney beans that are coming up. This side over here, I have more beans planted. These are all in this row right here. These are all black beans. And my husband's gonna put this trellis that's over here lying down. He's gonna put that trellis back up so that these beans will be able to have that to grow up on. And then of course my cantaloupe here, and it's just beautiful. There's a lot of new growth because of the manure that I put down, the super poop. I have a lot of new growth, plant growth. I'm hoping that it'll start putting on flowers again so I could get some fruit growth. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But on this side, there's more beans. These are more kidney beans. And I love beans. I love making chilies, homemade chilies. I like making all kinds of rice and beans and stuff. And so I like growing a lot of beans. The more I can grow, the more I'll have to be able to use in the dishes that I like to prepare. So I plant a lot of beans. And this is my second go around in beans. And then these are melons and watermelons that I planted. In this other line of stuff growing right here, I planted like beets and turnips. So those are starting to come up. And over here I have some peppers that I planted, and I have some that popped up, like that one popped up. There's one on the other side, so I do have some of those that are started, which is nice. And then more, these are green beans that I planted over on this side, bush beans. And then some more watermelons and melons that I had planted, cantaloupe that I planted. So yeah, we'll see how things work out with that. And over here, I think this is okra that I planted. I planted 2 different types right here. So I'm gonna see if that one came up. I'm gonna see what happens with them. I haven't been too successful with okra, and I would think that it would be a shoo-in since I'm in the desert and we have, you know, really hot temperatures. And from what I've seen, okra likes hot weather and summer heat, but it hasn't been doing all that great for me. I don't know. Okay, so I'm not gonna talk too much about this bed right here because that's my problem child bed, but I wanted to show you the progress that I made over here. I don't know if you recall, this peach tree was nice and full and the limbs was growing out over this garden box right here, and I chopped all that up so it looks like a nice civilized tree now. Not all wild and crazy. But we put in some of that super poop here and covered over the branches that I took off this peach tree. I just laid them down, so now they're under here so that they could go back to feeding the soil that this tree is growing in. And as long as the soil is healthy and good, then the tree will be healthy and good. So I'm gonna be planting all of my fall and winter stuff in here. I'm gonna plant some broccoli and cauliflower and some cabbages in here. So I haven't done it yet, but that's the plan. That is the plan. This is the other peach tree, and I did prune off a couple of branches off of this one, but not very many. And then this bed is finished now, and it has a super poop, and I put the irrigation back together, and I still left these peppers because these peppers can still have a lot of life in them yet. They can still give me some good peppers until the end of the season, so till that first frost hit. And then they just started putting on some more blooms, so I'm hopeful. And like this one has jalapenos growing on it. I don't know if you can see that there. That is a jalapeno. So, but I'm just reusing this cardboard, and so I'm just gonna plant into it and reuse the same cardboard since it's still pretty much together. And this cardboard has done wonders with keeping the weeds down. I haven't had to pull a lot of weeds out of this bed, so I'm happy with that. And going over here, I'm always passing this wood pile right here, branch pile. I'm gonna take this and hopefully take it to a place where I could get it chipped up. Just load it in my truck, take it to a place where I can get it chipped up so I can have those wood chips for my garden. Okay, over here, I just got this bed finished. You guys, my 17-year-old son means well, and I try to, you know, tell him he needs to be gentle. He's a football player. He's athletic. You know, he's one of those, I don't know, rough and gruff type guys, you know. And so I had him helping me over here, and I told him to put the water back on, the tubing back on over here. And I don't know if you can see it right there. He broke one of my pepper plants. And I told him, I said, son, you can't be manhandling this stuff. You gotta be gentle and tender to it. It's okay, I have more seedlings for that pepper plant that I'm gonna put in this bed, but I got super poop in here too. I just wanted to show you, look how pretty. I don't know if the camera is gonna do this justice, but this jigsaw pepper is so pretty. The leaves have purple going through them, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's so pretty. There's variegated leaves, and the fish pepper one is pretty too. That has variegated leaves. It's just the green and white, but the jigsaw pepper has that purple going through the leaves. It's so pretty. So I'm about to plant in this one too. I'll probably plant some more beets and turnips over here in this bed. And I didn't even tell you what I was planning on planting in this other bed over here that we just looked at. In the space where it's open, let me go back over here and show you real fast. In this space that's open on this side here, I'm gonna plant a whole bunch of lettuces. A lot of lettuces that I can cut and come again with. And then, oh, you're the lizard. And then on this side, I plan on, I don't know, just putting stuff, whatever I can fit in here. So I have yet to determine what that's gonna be. So okay, now back over here. Okay, and we added some of the super poop to this bed. So I'm gonna be planting some things in here, and I'm not exactly sure what yet. It might be some herbs or something, I'm not sure. I have to get that figured out. Now, before I was so pressed for space, and now I have so much space, that growable space that I made this year in my garden, that I'm like, okay, what am I gonna put where, and how much of it am I gonna grow? And I want to make sure that everything gets utilized and no space is left wasted. That's my tomato. That's my Kellogg breakfast, and there's some blooms on there. It's starting to flower, so I'm happy for that, because for a while I thought this plant was gonna die, but it seems to be doing good, and it's nice and green because I put that super poop in there. This one didn't make it. That was my big rainbow tomato. It did not make it, but as you can see, my grapes, I put some super poop in there, and with my irises here. So this is the last of the super poop out of my truck. So now we're just gonna get the truck cleaned out, so that I can use my truck again, because my truck was just sitting here on the side yard and I couldn't use it. I didn't want to drive that stinky truck. The truck, with all that manure, it doesn't really stink. It doesn't have a smell to it, but I just didn't want to drive the truck around with all that manure in the back. So yes, but all my other plants are doing good. I'm about to put a few more scoops of some of this super poop in some of these other containers so that these plants can get fed. I'm really excited about this one right here. This is a ground cherry. It's the only one that took. I tried growing these ground cherries since spring, and they kept dying on me. They'll pop up and then die. So this is the only one that survived. So I'm excited about that. I finished pruning on my tomato plants, and I tied some of them up, but I'm gonna have to tie some of these other ones up. But my tomatoes seem to be doing good. I got something eating them. Like that one got ate. So I'm about to go and get these little mesh baggies, party baggies, to put on my tomatoes. Oh, something got to this one, and this one's not even ripe yet. Yeah, see, I gotta get those party mesh bags to try and keep whatever is eating on my tomatoes off, or I'm not gonna have any of these delicious heirloom tomatoes to try. That one has some on it, so I'm gonna get that done. I don't know if I mentioned this already. I think I did, but I got this melon growing in here. I discovered it when I was pruning on these tomatoes. That is a banana melon. So this is the mystery plant that Cornelia was eating on. And so I just wanted to show you that. And she's still, I'd never stopped her from eating on there, but it still has been fruiting. And then I had a hornworm eat this plant down to nubs, and now this one is growing back, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, I have tomatoes on these. Even in the heat that we've been having, these tomato plants are putting out tomatoes. They're not huge, but they're still producing, so I just got to finish getting them tied up so that they look nice, and hope for the best. Some of these are growing up into my oleander bushes. But I just noticed this one, I don't know if it has leaves. Oh, it has some leaves. Looks like maybe it got attacked by a hornworm somewhere because it's so bare. But it's still growing, so we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, a lot of these I had to cut back heavily. And then this one, it already had some suckers growing out the bottom, so I just went on ahead and cut off the main plant and just let the suckers grow up on it. This one might end up dying because of disease that's on it. It's taking over. I had to cut back my basil too, because it flowered and everything, like how this one is. And so I cut it way back. Oh, and look who's walking up. I didn't even notice her over here. I bet she's been over here eating on some of these branches that I pruned off, the basil and the tomato branches that I pruned. I was just talking about you, Cornelia, and how you've been going around and just eating up on everything in this garden. So, but yeah, I just wanted to catch you up to date on everything so you can see. Like, look, I got this nice tomato right here. I gotta get him covered. This is a pork chop. I gotta get him covered so no bug or anything attacks it. So hopefully I'll get that done today. And then so that I can hold on to as many of my tomatoes as I can so I can continue to bring you those taste reviews on them and stuff. Slowly, you guys, I'm getting it together slowly. This area got cleaned up right here and it looks really good. Slowly getting it all together. So this wind is really picking up. Just all of a sudden, I mean, it was bad enough when I started, but dang, it's starting to get a little bit stronger. So you guys, to help out with my problem that I'm having with these bugs eating on my tomatoes, I'm making these little mesh bags. These are some quick and easy way, hopefully, to keep whatever bug or worm or bird or whatever that's doing this to my tomatoes. I just discovered that this one got pecked out or eaten out even though it's green, just to keep them off of my tomatoes because I've lost too many of them. So I want to be able to do my taste tests, my taste reviews on these. So yeah, and I'll probably put some photos up of the things that I use to make these little mesh bags. I actually got the fabric from the 99-cent store. It wasn't too difficult to make. All I used was this plate and this marker, and you see the scissors, and some twine to make this. And I just drew out the shape and the lines and just cut everything out. And that's how I make those little bags.